Hey everybody, it's me, the Kario Master. I know we haven't put too much content up lately, but with school winding down, winter break fast approaching, and city championships in full swing now, we should have a lot of content coming up soon. But anyways, let's start talking about what we're going to talk about today. Today I'm not going to talk as much about one specific topic, but about more topics in general, and things that are happening in the Pokemon TCG world right now. It's something that people do in other card game videos, so I thought why not try it with Pokemon, and let's see how it goes. First off, I want to talk about some spoilers that we got from the Japanese set Dark Rush, which is very far in the future for us, but it's still good to know about. We were only able to get a few translated cards from a commercial, and they've been found on Pokebeach, and not many of them are too good, but they do include a new EX Pokemon, Entei EX. Entei EX is an EX Pokemon with 180 HP. First attack for red and colorless does 30 and your Pokemon is automatically burned, and the second attack for double fire and a colorless does 90 and choose one energy from your discard and attach it to one of your bench Pokemon. Now this seems okay, but energy acceleration from the second attack isn't really that useful, Typhlosion and Emboar both being better options. Fire Fang's not that good, but the auto burn could be a good combo with Volcarona, which makes it that whenever your opponent takes burn damage, they take 4 damage counters instead of 2. It's still flippy and I don't like it, and I don't think it's worth it for an EX Pokemon where you'll have to give up 2 prizes for a cheap trick that might not even work. The second EX Pokemon to be spoiled from this set is Raikou EX. It seems like a better Pokemon than Entei EX, but we haven't seen a Suicune EX yet, so we don't know how good it is compared to that one. First attack Thunderfang does 30 damage, and then flip a coin to paralyze your opponent. This seems very good with Victini, giving you a high chance of paralyzing your opponent, and the 30 damage is fine. Voltage Arrow, on the other hand, for 2 lightning and 1 colorless, does 100 damage to one of your opponent's Pokemon, and discard all lightning energy attached to this. This seems like a very good attack with cards like Electric and Shaman, which would allow you to get them back if you have multiple Electrics, and then Shaman energy back onto it, doing it again, and doing it multiple times. This seems like a Pokemon that could be abused, and it could also work with cards like Magnezone for a draw engine. We'll just have to see what happens when the set comes out, which will be for a long time. Another interesting thing is that they've now released a symbol to the Dragon-type Pokemon that was released earlier in November. Now, adding Dragon-type is a really game-changing thing, and they haven't added a type since Darkness and Metal Energy, which was way back in the day. Now, this will force all Pokemon that have been colorless or their second type that are dragons, they will now become Dragon-type. It is interesting to note what they will be weak to and what will be weak to them, and the fact that when they're released, old cards will have no weakness to them, so they might seem a bit underpowered then. What is also interesting is to figure out, will there be a special Dragon Energy? When they released Metal and Darkness, they released Special Metal and Special Dark Energy, so why not release that? I'm assuming they'll make a basic Dragon Energy, but who knows? It'll be interesting what they do with the Dragon type and how they support it. City Championships have already been going on for 2 weeks, and so far from the results, Magnezone Electric decks and Zekrom decks are the top 2 runners, followed by Ross decks, Chandelure, and Kyurem Cobalion Electrode variants. There are some other decks, like Mega Magnezone, Reshiram variants, all that kind of stuff behind it, but those 4 or 5 decks seem to be performing a lot better than the rest. Magnezone decks are doing good because they're fairly consistent, and now with Electric, they're allowed to have a good energy acceleration, so they can consistently do a lot of damage with Magnezone or other attackers they could have. While Zekrom, on the other hand, just has a really explosive power, and especially now with Eviolite, it has a better defense and later game. As for the other decks, Cobalion Electrode Kyurem seems to be a very powerful deck if it doesn't get bad energy mites, and it seems to have really good late game against other decks, but once again, it all depends on how many energies you hit on energy mites. Ross is just a consistent deck that's always been doing well since it was first appeared at Worlds, and not much has changed about it. People have tried different things, but mainly the straight up normal version is the most consistent and better version. And Reshiram variants, they're just consistent and they're fast. That's all you can say about it, and it's not too hard to play, so you can usually get away with playing it if you're not the high skill player. That's pretty much all I have to say about the Cities format. Now the format is still very open because it is fairly new, and because there's just a lot of decks, and it's a fairly interesting format. People might say it's a triangle format, meaning that not every deck can beat each other, but they can usually beat 1 or 2 decks, but they're usually weak to 1 or 2 decks, meaning you just have to guess what you're going to play against, or what's going to be more popular. And if you guys have not gone to any cities yet, you should really search it up. Go to the Pokemon main website, which I'll leave in the link below, and go to Organized Play, and search up cities near you, because it's a great way to start playing if you don't play already, and it's a great way to rack up points, get prizes, and just have fun. So that's all I have to say today about Pokemon news and general stuff like that. I would also like to mention that if you guys didn't notice earlier, I made a post on YouTube saying that a site is in the works. Now this doesn't mean I'm making one right now, but I'm thinking about making one. I might just make some simple one off of some site hosting website, but I would like to make my own for now, if not the future. And if anyone knew how to do that and could help me out, it would be really greatly appreciated, and your services will not go unrewarded. I'm also trying to make an intro or theme song or something like that, which also would be great if someone could help out with that. So that's pretty much it. Like always, rate, subscribe, comment. Look us up on Twitter and Facebook. That's where you can stay connected with what's happening. So yeah, that's it. See ya.